Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about Christmas, and I think most of us are feeling pinched this year. We definitely are. Dan's been back to work for about 3 weeks, but things have changed because of the tariffs that have been put into place. So a lot of the trucks that he would ordinarily be driving are sitting in Mexico waiting for that to get lifted. So even though he's back to work, we are catching up from him being off for 4 months and trying to find enough work to be able to pay ourselves what we need to pay ourselves. So if you are in the same boat where you're feeling pinched and stretched this Christmas and it's feeling more stressful and less joyful, I just wanted to share a few things that we are doing and giving as gifts for this year for our kids and for our extended family. We don't buy for everybody in our extended family or give to everyone in our extended family, but there are some. And so I just wanted to talk through this. This is going to be pretty informal. Everything is kind of a mess in my house right now, but I wanted to get this done, especially as I'm setting things aside. I wanted to record it, and this is probably going to take place over a little bit of time and maybe be a little bit choppy, so I apologize for that. But this is just real life, and I just want to share what we are doing, and hopefully you can get some inspiration from that. So we have been doing some thrifting, and in that box back there there's some t-shirts that we've bought, and of course we're going to round some of this out with store-bought items. We're not against that, things from Walmart or whatever. We have picked up a couple of pairs of jeans for the boys from Rural King because they were on sale for $9, and so we're going to be giving that. And we have a few other things. This isn't everything. This is just the stuff that's in the house. We also still have some books. There's some over here, but we have some more out in the garage that's already been packed away. But just for some ideas. So like I said, some thrifted clothes. These shirts were in some hand-me-downs, and I just pulled them out before the kids saw them since they're brand new, and I'm going to decorate them, either embroider them or Cricut something on them for 2 of my daughters. So that didn't cost anything. My mother-in-law had a juicer on her Christmas list, and we got this one for $5 at the flea market. It is gently used but kept in the box in really good condition, so that will be going to her. I'm definitely not above buying thrifted gifts, and she won't care at all. She'll be glad that we got a good deal. I bought some blank sweatshirts. Gabe's was the cheapest place to get them. I looked on Walmart and I looked on Amazon, but they were $5.99 at Gabe's. There are 3 of them there, and I'm going to probably do reverse applique on them, where you put fabric behind and then you like cut away the sweatshirt material so that you can see the fabric behind in a shape or a scene or a word. Like my mom's is one of the dark gray ones, and I think I'm probably just going to put Grammy across it in green fabrics, fabrics that I already have, interfacing I already have. So I just had to buy that for my mom and my aunt and my grandma. I picked up some newborn baby clothes for my daughter, who is 11 and is very much in love with her doll. Her doll's name is Jack, and so we got some new things for Jack for a gift for her. All of that together was $1.25. So that's a good, inexpensive gift for her, and of course she's not going to care that it was used. I was at the thrift store and picked up a couple of embroidery hoops because all my girls embroider and we're always losing them. We're losing half of them. So a lot of this is linens, but they're not going to be used as linens. So buying sheets is the cheapest way to buy fabric, especially if you want cotton fabric. So I went to the thrift stores yesterday and I got some, and I'm planning on making dresses for my daughters out of most of these. So we have sets here, and then we've got some lace because I thought it would be fun to at least do like the skirt of the dresses, do an overlay in lace. So this was $1. This was $1. And then these are curtains, and it was $1 for this set and $1 for that set. I got 2 pillowcases, and these don't feel like they were ever even washed, so I can do embroidery on them as a gift, and this was 50 cents. This was $1. I thought again it would make a nice dress. And the reason that I got these weird colored ones, actually I got these first, but I ended up going to Goodwill after. I went to this locally owned thrift shop and found a sheet that matches it just about identically. So this was $2, and I can get at least one dress out of those materials. This was $2, I believe. It's the entire set in the bag. Really soft cotton. And then a king flat and fitted sheets, and they are really nice quality, don't really look used very much, and I'm always looking for white fabric for lining things or backing things, and this was $3, and it's probably 6 to 8 yards of fabric for that amount. And then I paid 50 cents total for, there's 4 of them somewhere, so I must have dropped one. These are cross stitch or needlepoint bookmarks, so it's the fabric edged in lace. So I can do those as some gifts for people. This is actual fabric. I believe they're each 1 yard pieces, and there's 2 of them there. I paid $1 total for this from Joann's, so soon that'll be considered vintage probably. There's the other bookmark blank. This is a queen size fitted sheet that I bought again for the fabric. Paid $1 for that. This one is polyester, but it's so silky and soft, and I really want to try doing something with this and then overlaid with the lace, and I paid $1 for that. The most expensive fabric I bought was this set. It's a Cuddle Duds flannel sheet set, and I paid $6 for it, and my plan is not for dresses, but to make flannel pajama pants for my boys. So that was what I have bought in the way of craft supplies. Here are some other gifts that we've bought at the thrift stores recently. This is for my 14-year-old. It was, I think, 50 cents. My 12-year-old, it was 25 cents. This one's for my 12-year-old, and it was $1. This is for my 17-year-old, and it was $2. This is for my 14-year-old. It was half off, so it was $1.50. This is just for us to read this Christmas. It was $1. This is for my 9-year-old, and it's brand new, and it was $2. This we got, it says $4.99, but it was 75% off, so it was $1.25, and it's very faded, but we opened it in the store, and it still has, let's see it back shut, it still has everything, it's complete. That's for my 12-year-old, and this is also for my 12-year-old, and it was 50 cents, so those are some of the things that we've bought so far. We try to give our kids each 4 gifts. Usually it's want, need, wear, and read. And so some of them I'm getting close to being done with. The teenagers are the hardest ones, but my 17-year-old was just accepted to college, and she'll be leaving in August. And so she has some things that she wants to be able to take with her. So we have ideas for her. I think my 20-year-old is about done. The 15-year-old and the 14-year-old are probably the hardest. We still have to come up with some things for them, but we're getting there. We're making progress, and if we can round out the couple store-bought gifts with some thrift store finds and some handmade things, that really helps. And so next I'm going to show you a few things that we've been making, and of course you know my plans to use the sheets for clothing, but some other things that we're planning on doing as well. So another thing that we do is we have the kids exchange names with each other. Well, everybody in the family draws a name to buy one personalized gift for another family member. And so we've done it all different kinds of ways in the past, and this year everything has to be either made by you, or if you have the means, you can buy a handmade gift that someone else made, like from Etsy or a local shop or something. So we've been working on those things, and my 20-year-old is making a custom ukulele for my 9-year-old. My 17-year-old is making custom t-shirts for her dad. My 15-year-old is making a custom journal cover out of leather for his 14-year-old sister. The 14-year-old still doesn't know what she's doing for the 11-year-old. The 12-year-old is making a knitting needle case for the 15-year-old, his 15-year-old brother. And so I picked up 2 new pairs of knitting needles from the thrift store. It was about $2.50 for both of those. And then he's going to make that case. We're going to work on it today and didn't get there. My 11-year-old made a pillow for her 17-year-old sister. And she also made a little handmade hanging shelf thing. I don't fully understand. My 9-year-old is making a felt computer for the 7-year-old. The 7-year-old has my name, and I don't know what he's doing. And then my husband has our 12-year-old son's name, and we're not entirely sure. He was thinking about maybe making a rubber band gun or something along those lines. I feel like I have to be really quiet because the kids are always listening. And then I have our 20-year-old son, and I found a tutorial to make a lamp. You buy the lamp kit, of course, and then you use plumbing parts and electrical parts, and the shade is 2 bent license plates. So that's what we're doing for our family name exchange. Something else that I've been making, and I will try to show you when it's not dark out, is Dutch tool chests. We're making them smaller, but my family is Dutch. My great-grandfather came to America in about 1923, I believe. So anything that has like a Dutch heritage is nice. It's thoughtful, I guess, for that side of the family. So we're making one for my dad, and then for my grandpa, who is the first-generation American. And my 15-year-old has been helping me do that, so we've been making those out of wood, and it's outside. But been doing that, and I'm going to show you a few other things that we've been making. My 9-year-old has been asking for a quilt for about a year. Last year I made quilts for several of the adults in our family, and she started asking about it then, and I started this one before her birthday last March, and it just has not gotten finished. I've been doing a quilt as you go kind of patches, but I ran out of fleece, so I need to get some fleece, and then I'm just going to do a wide band around the outside the whole way so that it's more bed-sized. I think right now it might be a little bit rectangular, but that is going to be for her, and I'm glad it's almost done. So that'll be good. We just have to put a backing on it. I'll be doing some more crochet things. This is something that I'm considering for my 14-year-old. It's a pattern that I had bought years ago, so no out of pocket this year for that, and I have a lot of yarn on hand. I've been making a lot of these Scandinavian stars. They're just folded, there's no sewing involved, and so these ones and these ones I'm just going to put a ribbon on, and there'll be tree ornaments, and I'll put those with some gifts or maybe teacher gifts or something. And then these ones I made a bunch of. Again, it was all fabric that I already had, and this was a sheet, and this was just a piece of fabric I'd been given at some point. I made 25 of those, and so I started with 9 of them. I put them together on a string and made a garland. It has loops to hang it for a ladies' Christmas party gift exchange. So the gift couldn't cost more than $5, so I don't have any money in that. The tin that I bought was $1 at Goodwill. And then again, I've had lots of yarn and I can crochet. So these are wrist warmers, like fingerless gloves. They have a thumb hole and they were worked in one piece. And then the design is actually like cross-stitched with other yarns. So you see some of them there, just little bits that I had. This took very little yarn and I feel like it looks kind of impressive even though it wasn't hard at all. So that's going to be my gift to take to the ladies' party. And then over in this corner, this is a rug loom that I had my 15-year-old and my husband make me, and we did have to buy some of the pieces for that. There's a tutorial online, and I started my first rag rug and it took about 3 weeks to finish. I still need to kind of touch it up, cut off a few little stragglers and fluff it out. But this makes a rag rug that is decent sized. It's like 2 foot by almost 4 foot. And it used up a lot of fabric that I didn't particularly love. I would never have made clothing or things out of it. This is a kit that I was given a long time ago, and it's foam. And it came with all of the pieces of fabric, and then you have to cut out the little pattern pieces, and you use a butter knife to tuck it down into these grooves, and that picture is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. So I've been working on that. I started to do the bear and the fabric started to tear because this is probably a 30-year-old kit and the fabric was just too thin. So I need to find a new piece of black fabric. I know I have some in the garage, but I'm just doing this a little bit at a time, and that's going to be for my aunt as well. I'm ready to start a new rag rug. This one is going to be for my grandma, and then we're going to use this fabric. I've got a ton of it. It's pretty enough, but like, what do you do with it? So we're going to chop it up. You cut it into 1.5-inch strips and then run them around the nails and down and back up, and then it's essentially a braid the whole way back and forth across till you get to the bottom and you can pop it off. So we're going to start another one of those. I would like to do another 3, I guess. This is for my grandma and then one for my mom and my aunt, and maybe not my aunt, we'll see, and my mother-in-law. So that's the plan, and then I figure I will have the loom for as many different ones as I want to make in the future. One other thing that I'm planning on making is a set of little mice. They're only like 3 inches tall. I believe the YouTube channel and the blog are called Quiet Farm Life. I'll try to link it. But she has a lot of really nice high quality patterns that are free if you're looking for something that you can sew. A lot of things that definitely you would pay for elsewhere. So I'm going to use some of her patterns for some little toys for the girls, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things. I said today to my children how amazing it is that we can take advantage of so many people's creativity. Everybody's different ideas, and there's no shortage of ideas on the internet. The hardest part is narrowing it down and picking just a couple things. So those are some of our plans for this Christmas. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you hopefully very soon. So here is the first tool chest that we've been working on. We don't have a good level space to put it. Just kind of sitting here cockeyed, but it'll have a lid on there yet and handles on the side so that it can be carried. And this front piece, instead of being hinged or something, has this piece of wood that runs down through and then through a bracket on the back of the door, so you lift that out to remove this front piece. And that's what we've been working on.